So a lot of guys, they tell me, Tony, I ran out of things to say. And a great thing to do is to practice improv, where it's basically you just improvise on the spot. So an easy way to do this is you get a timer and you set it for 30 seconds, and you can either do it with a friend or you can do it on your own. Let's say you're doing it by yourself. You get a timer, set it for 30 seconds or a minute, and whatever you see in your surroundings, let's say it's a water bottle, you talk about it for 30 seconds straight. So if I see a water bottle, man, I love drinking water. Did you know that people are made of 80% water? I just did yoga earlier today and it was amazing. I had to drink all this water. Speaking of which, I love yoga. It's amazing. Every day I do it in the morning and I feel fantastic. So you can either stay on the subject that you were originally discussing, which is water, or you can segue into another topic that's more interesting to you, such as for me would have been yoga. So that's it. So you practice that and then you do it for 30 seconds, and the very next thing you see in your surroundings, mouse pads. You just start talking about whatever the next thing is. Mouse pads. This mouse pad is old, it's fucked up. I don't know what this stuff is on the side. It's melted somehow. I've had the same mouse pad since I used to live in Michigan. I fucking loved living in Michigan. It was awesome. There was tons of beautiful women. Everybody's cool. There was lakes there. It was like paradise. I live in Hollywood now. If you haven't been to Hollywood, it's incredible. But do you guys see what I'm doing? You just transition from one topic to the next. So practice it. As you're driving in your car, you'll see, let's say you see an ambulance. You start talking about the ambulance. Then you see a blue sky. You start talking about the blue sky. And you just transition from one topic to the next. And that's one. Another thing that you could do is, it's called a question, comment, comment. Oh, before I get into that, another thing you can do is you can get a partner and you guys each time each other. One of you has a watch, or both of you, can have a watch, and you just do 1 minute back and forth. You yell at the topic, he talks about it for 1 minute. He yells a topic, you talk about it for 1 minute. So you can yell blue jeans, and for 1 minute he has to talk about blue jeans, or whatever he transitions to from there. Then he says something, t-shirts, talk about t-shirts. Titties, talk about titties, whatever the subject is. But the main thing is you want to develop that skill, that muscle of being able to react on your feet really fast. It's like almost like verbal martial arts. Like when you first start martial arts, when you practice, someone throws a punch at you and you're very nervous and you have to train and it's sloppy, your counterattack. But with enough practice, they throw a punch, you block, and you counterattack right away. It's the same thing with improvisation. With enough time developing the skill, someone says something and you immediately respond back. So that's one. The other thing that you can do is, it's called the question, comment, comment, question method. A lot of guys, what they're doing wrong is they'll meet a woman and they'll ask a question and immediately, well, hold on, let me rephrase this. They'll meet a woman and what they'll do is they'll just ask a series of questions in a row, which essentially kills any sexual energy that is there. They'll say, like, I tried to do it in one of the videos. It's called the What Not to Do video, but I guess I did too good of a job of it because she still gave me her phone number. But most guys, when they're new, what they do is they stand really close to a woman, which is very weird. They'll stand like this close and they'll go, hey, where are you from? And she'll say, Boston. How do you like it? It's good. How long have you been there? And the sexual energy will start to decrease. So what you do is that you do the question, comment, comment, question method. You ask, where are you from? She says, Boston. Now you either give your experience with it or your experience not with it. I'll say it again. You either give whatever she says, you give your experience with it, or you give your experience not with it. So I say, where are you from? She says, Boston. Then I say, Boston. I've never been to Boston. I always wanted to go there. I heard it's amazing. So I gave 2 comments. I've never been to Boston. I've always wanted to go. I've heard it's amazing. It's actually 3 comments. What do you think about it? And she'll say, or how do you like it? And then she'll say, it's good. And then I have to give my experience again, not with it. And yeah, one of my friends used to live there, and she would always talk about how amazing it was. I've been told that it has its own little subculture. What do you think about that? So then I made a few comments of my experience, not with it, and asked another question. So it's question, comment, comment, question. An example of my experience with something. I saw this woman. This is a real story. I was at UCLA. I see this woman. I tell her she's really cute, and I ask her where she's from, and she says she's from Texas. And I said, Texas, I love Texas. Every year I go to San Antonio. And have you ever been there? She goes, yeah, what do you go to San Antonio for? And I go, I go to the spiritual, what would I call it? A spiritual center. It's amazing. Are you into that kind of stuff? And she said, yeah, she is. And we started talking and exchanged numbers. So I just gave my experience with what she said. So you either you ask a question, give your experience with it, or give your experience not with it. and then ask another question. The main thing is you want to avoid asking too many questions in a row. When I was new to day game, I would talk with the woman, I would be looking at her like this, and I would just count on my fingers, like 1, 2, however many questions I asked, and I wanted to make sure I didn't ask 2 questions in a row. And that's a great exercise to start. So, or you can just make general comments about a woman. Try to cold read her, and she'll help you out. So, you should never run out of things to say from now on. You could either make comments, do the question, comment, question method, or improvise. So, damn, I missed my own finger. So 1, 2, 3. You have 3 things. And I also did a blog post about this called How to Keep a Conversation Going. And the link is in the description, and I hope this helps. Thank you.
I don't mean to be that guy that hits on a woman as she's getting in her car, but I have to be that guy for right now. I'm telling you.